6.7, we're going to solve equations. So we've done this before. I know you've seen some of this before, and we're going to start easy and quickly get into kind of harder questions. So this is sort of the most algebra we do in this class. So let's grit our teeth and get her done. So in this first example, and the first example is represented by this whole area right here, we're asked to find x, which is usually what these questions are. And I have 4x equals 24. Well, you have to remember the idea of opposite operation. So 4 is times x, so therefore I have to divide. Okay, and if I have to divide, what I'm going to divide by, because I want x by itself, if I divide both sides by 4, then I end up with just x. X is 24 by 4. Notice that these straight lines, whether it's like this or like that, both refer to divide. Excuse me. And 24 by 4 is 6. Okay, and again, if you just think about how that, what's happening there, kind of makes sense. That if I go back to the very beginning and I substitute in, if I go back to my original equation, I substitute in x equals 6, 4 times 6. So remember the brackets just refer to a multiply, equals 24, and that is very true, right? If I'm checking my answer, 4 times 6 is 24. So my two sides are equal, and that makes sense. Okay? Okay, looking at this one here, 11 equals 6 plus x. Well, 6 is added to the x here. So I'm going to do the opposite operation, which is subtract. So I subtract 6 from each side. So 11 take away 6 equals 6 plus, whoopsie, typo. If you went ahead of me, you're going to be right there. That should be a minus, okay? Because I'm subtracting 6 from both sides. And remember, the big thing with working with equations is if you do something on the right side of the equation, you have to do the exact same thing on the left. So when I divided this side by 4, I have to divide that side by 4. When I subtract 6 from this side, I subtract it from that side. And our goal, of course, is just to get x by itself. So 6 plus x, well, to get x by itself, I have to use the opposite operation, which is subtract. And I have 5 equals x. And again, if you think back to subbing back in, 6 plus 5 is 11, so it works. Same thing, this is the exact same question we just did. 2x equals 6. Well, divide both sides by 2, because x is multiplied by the 2, and you get x equals 3. And similarly, x minus 5, I'm going to add 5 to each side of the equation. So x equals 13. And if you just think about that again, 13 minus 5 is 8. It just makes sense. So the next thing I want you to do is to try these questions. So it starts right here with 3x equals 12. I wrote the answers. So if you just write the answers, I'm going to assume that you didn't actually do the questions. I want to see a little bit of a solution showing me opposite operations as you solve these questions. Okay? So it's those ones. We're going to go all the way up to F. You're going to do that with the video off. Okay, you're going to get up to F, and then you'll restart the video right here.